Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be making this candle holder that's in the shape of a cat. This took about 3 days in total to make with all the drying time, and it's made from clay. So without further ado, let's get into what materials we're going to be using. First thing we need is some clay. I used air drying clay by the brand called Das. It was about £4 for 1 kg, and also some tin foil. You might need quite a bit of this, so make sure it's a full roll, along with just a little Tupperware container for water, and some paper towels just to keep things neat, and also a damp cloth just to make sure your hands don't get too dry. And some material tools. I just bought these off eBay for £2-ish, and also a rolling pin that I stole off my niece from her Play-Doh set. But yes, this is it. Everything you need for the first part of making the cat. And also you will need a candle, just to make sure you have the basic shape on the top, so you know that it's not going to be too small or too big to fit the candle in. So make sure you choose what candle you want as well. First part, we're going to get the tin foil and we're going to scrunch it up into a ball. This will take a little bit of time, so just be patient. You're trying to build up the general shape of the cat in this part. So first of all, we're making the head shape, and we're just going to keep rolling and rolling it all around until we get a big enough head shape that will fit the candle on top. Just keep measuring the candle with the head, just so you know that you've got enough space for when you add the clay later on. You can see me using 2 balls because I was originally going to make 2 cats, but then I realised that I probably wouldn't have enough clay, so I stuck with 1. And now you see me adding on from the head, sort of creating the body shape. And you just keep adding and adding and adding until everything looks the way you want it to. Make sure you have a large enough shape by the end, because the whole point of using the tin foil is so that you don't need to use as much clay for the inside. So this way you're saving more clay by making the tin foil shape bigger. And here is the finished tin foil model. You can see it stands, it's pretty sturdy, so that's all good. And now we shall get on to the clay part of the cat. Here I'm just opening all the clay out. It's good to roll the clay quite well so it's all molded together, so that you will get less cracks once you're adding it onto the tin foil. As you can see, I just rolled it out and then placed it on top of the tin foil, sort of like how you would do with a cake with the fondant on the top. So this is the base layer of the clay going onto the cat, and then after this we're going to add all the details, like the ears. When adding on external pieces of clay to the main body, make sure that you're scratching and scoring where you want the clay to go. This, and then adding a bit of water. This acts as like a glue, sort of, so it binds the 2 pieces together, so it's less likely that they're going to crack and fall off once it's dry. It's good to use water whilst working with the clay. This makes the clay more smooth, but don't overdo it with the water, because if you use too much water it means that the clay will crack once it's dried. So just keep that in mind when you are using water. Now we're just adding the tail and all the finishing little details. After about a day and a half you should have a completely dry model of your cat candle holder. And here it is, all dry, and on the top you can see where the candle will go. And I'm going to show you how to make the clay just a little bit more smooth. All you will need is some fine sandpaper. It's important that it is fine, just so you don't scratch the clay too much. And then you just find areas that have bit of cracked parts in it, like this bit, and then you just gently rub at it with the sandpaper and it will make it a little bit more smooth. It makes it easier to work with once you're using the paints when it's a bit smoother. So here it is, a little bit more smooth. Now on to the painting part. Here is all the paints we'll be using. I'm going to be using acrylic paints. These are just what I had in my paint drawer. A few different brands. We've got Artistro and some Arteza and some Pebeo. Yeah, Pebeo at the top. First we're going to be making our base colour. For this I used a bit of blue, some orange and yellow and white, lots of white for this. Makes it sort of like a creamy off-white colour, and I just went around everything and painted it all and then waited for that to dry, and then adding the little white details first with the eyes and the mouth area, and then onto the tail. Decided to paint the tail quite a dark blue colour. It comes up a bit black on the camera, but it's sort of like a navy blue, and then I made just like a few different colours with that dark blue by adding a bit of white to each colour so that you got a bit more variety. I used some reference photos of cats, so I sort of knew how to do the different patterns, although I do think that the patterns sort of remind me of a tiger a little bit, but that's okay as well. Now just painting the top part where the candle will go. I decided to sort of make it look like it's a flower hat on the top. So that's why you can see me adding all the pink bits. And my favourite part to paint was on the bottom where the cat's little toe beams are. Yeah, I definitely couldn't forget putting those bits on. Those are my favourite parts. And just doing the eyes now, decided to go for like a bluish greeny colour. Tried to make it all coordinated but also using different colours at the same time. Now just going in with finishing touches with the white parts on the eyes, and here is the finished painted cat. And after this we're going to be varnishing it. I will leave all the products that I used in the description below with links to where I bought them from as well if you guys wanted to check them out. So here is what we'll be using for the varnish. This is a Liquitex acrylic medium. It's high gloss varnish. I bought this off Amazon and it lasts quite a long time. I've used this for a lot of different clay pieces, and the bottle is still nearly completely full, so you definitely don't need much of this stuff. I used the large flat-headed brush to just go over this piece of the varnish. It's best to start with very thin layers of the varnish and then build up those layers, because the thinner the layer, the quicker it will take to dry. And here is the finished cat, all dry and varnished. I did put a candle on the top just so you guys could see what it would look like once the candle is lit. And I'm pretty happy with how this piece turned out, and I was thinking I might make another one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.